Hi, I'm Nancy Solari from Living Full Out. Very excited to be here with you today talking about visualizing your potential. We're all in this world, we're all in this career that we've chosen because we want to help people. And I'm very excited to be here with you, and hopefully over this course of time, you find some inspiration in the stories I'm going to share with you and how you can apply them to your life to further grow and excel and again, make a difference. After all, that's what it's all about, right? I want to introduce myself a little bit. Again, I'm Nancy Solari, founder and creator of Living Full Out. Now, my story kind of goes back to when I was 16. Myself and two of my sisters were all diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, RP, which is a degenerative eye condition. And the thing about RP is it's really tricky. It has depth perception loss, so I can't see edges or edges the stairs or anything like that. It's night vision loss, so nighttime is super dark for me. It also makes the world very grainy and blurry. It's hard to see people's faces, but I can kind of find an eye from time to time, or sometimes when someone's hair is darker and their skin is lighter, I can see that contrast. And most of all, it falls under the category of being legally blind. Now, when I was 16, the doctor said, well, this eye condition is pretty severe. You're going to be going blind by 40. Wow, okay, that's not what every 16-year-old wants to hear. So at that point, I had a decision to make, and it was really to live in a big way. I kind of made my bucket list of all the things I wanted to do while I had sight. Obviously, one of them was to go to college, so I went to the University of Oregon, go Ducks, and I got two degrees, one in broadcasting and psychology with a minor in business, and really loved my college experience. Although tenacious at heart even then, I ended up doing 8 different internships in my college career, but I also was able to end up working at really well-known places like Entertainment Tonight and Good Morning America and so many other adventures where I was producing and DJing and just really enjoying the broadcasting experience, merging that with psychology. Now, you might ask, well, gosh, creator of Living Full Out, today she's a talk show host, right? How did that come to be? Well, it was really interesting. I grew up as a young child, around 10 and onward, watching Oprah. So many of us did. And I realized over time, it wasn't about being another Oprah. It was about becoming Nancy, and who Nancy was going to be in the world with different insights and a different lens, literally, for how I see the world. And I think we can all apply that to our lives. There's been others perhaps that have had the same role that you have now, but you're coming in and you're adding your touch, how you view the world, your heart, your passion, that is signature to you. And so as we journey through today, again, I want you to hone in on how you can turn those traits up and really allow them to be vibrant. Now, going back to my journey, after I went to the University of Oregon, I had many different careers. Now, I will tell you that the vision loss had some say in my transitions. For example, when I was in broadcasting, I found that it became trickier to read the teleprompter. It was almost as though I was dyslexic. I literally could only see 2 words at a time. And I really wasn't sure how I was going to pursue that career, and I was on the younger side. And then I decided, you know what, I've always had a passion for singing. I'm going to go into the music industry. And I did that, and I was very successful at recording an album. But it wasn't quite the right fit. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, right? That wasn't quite who I was in at the core. So I did another life transition. I went into real estate and actually spent 13 years in Southern California as a top producing realtor. But then again, the vision took a jump, and the lines on the road literally started to disappear. But again, that tenacious spirit within me was still there. So I went ahead and tried to crack the code on how I could stay in real estate, how I could make this happen. And I know that all of you are very resourceful. You have to be, right, with all the demands of your job. Well, I am right there with you. While I was giving up driving, trying to figure out how I was going to do showings and all of that, I would literally take 2 to 12 buses in a day. Yes, that's right. I would memorize the bus system. I would show up to a multi-million-dollar house. I would show the property, memorize every step, turn the lights on as bright as I could, and have a really successful showing. Then my clients would drive off in their luxury automobile, and then I would walk back to the bus stop, catch my next bus to my next showing. And I did that, eventually got an assistant and then two assistants, and the business kept growing. But I had been able to figure out a solution to my problem. And as I went along in life, I realized that RP, retinitis pigmentosa, was just a part of who I was. It didn't define who I could be and the potential I had. And today we're talking about visualizing your potential. So you want to consider all of the hindrances, all of the chaos, all the demands of your life, and know that they aren't labels put on you. They don't define or minimize your ability to thrive. You can do that all on your own, just like I did. Sometimes we just have to get resourceful and crack that code. Well, I then went on to figure out, gosh, I can't be the only person having these life dilemmas and challenges, whether it's vision loss or relationship heartbreak or career transitions. And so I decided I wanted to start Living Full Out, a motivational speaking coaching company that, allow me to help others connect the dots so that they could live their best life, whatever that looks like. For some, it's starting their own business, right? That is a new American dream for many. For others, it's building that family and finding their soulmate and having kids. And then for some, it's traveling the world, throwing caution to the wind. Now, I'm not sure where you find yourself all in that group, but starting Living Full Out was truly a joy. We opened our doors in May 8th of 2008, and gosh, we've been keep on going, right? We've been growing. We do coaching, we do speaking, we have a national radio show, we've had a TV show, we do publishing. Now, why do I share all that with you? Because just like I had to have a vision for Living Full Out, you need to have a vision and visualize the potential that you can do within your role. What does that look like? How can you serve more people? How can you solve more problems? Now, remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And either is being a troubleshooter. But you want to put your eye on the ball and figure out, okay, how can I make a difference? How can I be an influencer to others? How can I be the voice for those who can't speak? When I sit here today with you, I am so honored that I have been the one to be able to share this visualize your potential message with you and help you to connect those dots. But as we go through this time together, I want you to really hone in on two things. Number one, what is going really well in your life? Because that should be celebrated, right? And I don't mean major milestones like a birthday and an anniversary. I mean if you have a good day, or if it's a day where nothing goes sideways and sour, celebrate that, right? I think too often we feel like we only celebrate when we do something big. And I believe that we need to be rewarded each and every day with a little something. Also, you want to look at where in your life you know you want to make changes. Maybe there's people in your life that are toxic. They don't support you. They don't understand your schedule, the demands of your role and at your career. Maybe you have life goals that you feel as though others are judging you and you can't pursue them. The thing is, it's really important to know, what is it that you want in life? And part of the Living Full Out mantra, part of visualizing your potential is taking a bite of that apple. One bite, yum, 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 right? Then another bite. And before you know it, you've ate the whole apple, but you enjoyed it. And that's how life is meant to be. It's meant to be experienced. It doesn't mean that we're going to get it right every time. And I know you always do your best. We're going to talk about that today as well. But it's just really important that you kind of get a little bit selfish today. Really hone in on what it is that you want and how we can get you there. Now, I want to talk about stress, right? Because I realize no one has stress, right? We all have it. And stress is funny because we can be as positive as possible, But the words we say to each ourselves and words we say to others and inside our head and out loud, those are really important. So you want to start saying things like, I will, I can. Positive affirmations when you're driving in the car, when you're getting ready in the morning and looking at yourself in the mirror. It really starts with that personal moment. Now, I realize that the unexpected happens, the demands of the world fall on your shoulders, and sometimes it's hard to have all the answers. And when that happens, boy, doesn't life just feel like a helium balloon that gets filled up tighter and tighter and tighter? And some days, I bet you feel like you're going to pop, right? Well, we want to get you to the point where you're not that super tight, stretched helium balloon. You want to figure out what are some of the ways that you de-stress the best. You know, maybe that's working out. Maybe it's something pleasurable that you like to eat, you know, and from time to time that just kind of soothes your soul. Maybe it's going to church. Maybe you have a really good friend that's a sounding board that just allows you to vent and is a good listener. It's important that you pay attention to what are those go-tos in your life that relieve that strain, that relieve that stress. I know for me, you know, running, living full out, not everything goes perfect, especially when I can't see things, right? Many don't realize is that since I can't see even a computer screen, I can't read a notebook. All of that, it's just basically a blank page or a blank screen of white. So everything in my world is auditorial. So my computer talks out loud to me, my phone talks out loud to me. And in fact, many of my team members, they're my eyes on projects. But I still have to oversee them. So whether I'm listening or somebody is telling me something, I am always alert and looking for the gaps where something needs to be filled. You know, the opportunity where we can, again, crack that code, solve a problem. And I know that you're of that same nature, right? But sometimes, if we go back to the idea of the helium balloon, we're trying to please everyone. But when you try to please everyone, who's the one that gets left out? That's right, you. And if you deplete yourself and whittle yourself down energetically, spiritually, in terms of even your own focus, you're not able to serve at your highest and best. So I have found in my life that having a plan helps me. Now, I do a little bit of a hybrid lifestyle because knowing that I can't see things, things are always going to come my way that are unexpected. And when that happens, I do have to go with the flow. But I'm also a planner at heart. So for all of you planners out there, I am with you. But I find that having an intention for the day, even though some things are not going to work out as planned, even though the unexpecteds are going to come up, when you start the day with intention, with those I can, I will, I'm proud of myself mantras, when you know what your moves are during the day or your list of to-dos, who do you need to talk to, what are your priorities? It's kind of like a map, right? If you were driving in the car, a map is really helpful, right? You have your driver, you have a passenger, and you're on your way to your adventure. But what if there's no driver? What if there's two passengers? Your car would go in circles, right? What if there's no map and you have no idea where you're going? You would just waste time. So you know that, I know that, but we have to apply that sometimes to our career. For me, because so much of my time is taken up by listening and sometimes re-listening to things because I may not hear it the first time, I'm oftentimes up bright and early, 4 a.m. I love my morning news, and sometimes 3:30. That's what I did today. And that gives me the time to have Nancy time. I watch the news, I play with my service dog Charlie, I do check emails. It's that quiet time before the world starts, because for me, the calls start coming in right at 7 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, which is 10 Eastern, and then off I go until usually the evenings. Now, I do not chain myself to the desk, right? That's where being fluid comes in. So when you think about a schedule, you can plan it out to the hour, to the half hour, to the every 15 minutes. I do that on certain days. But you want to be fluid. So let's say you have a call or you have a meeting and it doesn't go well, it's filled with anxiety, stressful decisions that you have to make, you want to make sure that you have budgeted time in your schedule where you can just have a mental relaxation time, meditate, take a 10-minute walk, get some air. It's really important as we consider de-stressing to shake up the energy. Now, if you're working remotely, if you have the ability to take a shower, you're never going to come out of that shower more stressed than you were going in. You're going to wash away some of that tension. So a shower is a great way to switch the energy. Also, what you drink, what you eat, something spicy can alert the mouth and get you just ready to go and recharge for your next meeting. Or something sparkly, something with fizz. I drink some soda, not a lot of it, but once in a blue moon, man, that Mountain Dew with a little bit of fizz really gets me fired up for my meeting. Otherwise, I find that a hot beverage, a cold beverage, anything to get my mouth just ready to go, ready to speak and present. Also, consider your office or your home or your car, making sure that it's clean, that you feel efficient, that you feel productive, that you feel successful, and most of all, that you feel as though you have the space to make good decisions. If somebody's desk is chaotically just paperwork everywhere, it's not clean, it's hard to feel like, gosh, okay, I can solve major problems because you're going to look at your desk going, wait, this desk is a major problem, right? So you have the ability to do that. Keeping your car clean, keeping to a schedule, working out, making sure you're eating the right things. Well, not everything can go to plan in a day. You have the ability to control certain factors, so you want to do so when you can. Okay, so now we've de-stressed ourselves, we've acknowledged that hot balloon that's filled with helium and just about to burst, but now it's decision time. And how do you make a decision sometimes when you're not sure, when maybe you're not feeling confident that you're going to do the right thing, that you've looked at every angle of an issue? Sometimes you have to always remember to keep the faith. Super important. And also, know that when you're at a crossroad in life, right, you can go right, you can go left, you can go straight. Oftentimes we don't go backwards, although sometimes we do. You just have to take that step. But like I said, take that leap of faith. And also rely on your team, right? It's really important that as we're making decisions, as we're checking boxes, as we're going through the flow of our day, that we do it with as much confidence as possible. But it doesn't mean that you have to do it alone. When I put together my to-do list in the day, which is really my guide, I will even designate or delegate, who can help me on certain projects to make sure that we hit that deadline. If I had to do everything, oh my gosh, it would be, a 24-hour day times 2, which I don't have, right? So rely on your team, trust your decisions, know that as you go through your day, you're always doing your best. It's important to always remember that. And, the thing about stress, it's that worry that we're letting people down. It's that worry that, what if I make the wrong decision? Well, indecision is sometimes more of a stress than when you actually do take that step forward. So as you journey through today's presentation and you're considering visualizing your potential, I want you to visualize yourself being confident. I want you to see yourself smiling. I want you to see all those around you that appreciate your efforts and your time. You want to see your life going smoothly. You want to see less hurdles, less obstacles, less stress. We have the ability to calm our mind. We have the ability to bring flow and ease into our life. You just have to be willing and able to grab it. And that is a large part of what it means to live full out and to let your potential shine. Now, it's really important that as we go through our day, right, we assess who are we being in the world, right? I don't know about you, but some days I feel like I have to be superhuman. And I'm not even sure exactly why I feel that way, but I'm well aware that I can't see. But sometimes I feel like I have to run even further, faster, harder to make up the difference of how long it takes me to study or digest something or do any task. And so I'm sure for you, you feel that same way too, right? It's the time it takes for you to read reports, to have those meetings, to process, all the different ways in which a situation can go. But if you consider yourself as needing to be superhuman, then you're kind of building that elephant in the room mentality, right? You're kind of making an issue even bigger than it needs to be. That mountain is getting taller and taller and further for you to climb. So when you're superhuman, although you may think you're doing the right thing, sometimes it's actually self-sabotaging yourself. It's better to slow down, to take time to process, to utilize your team, to trust that you're going to make the right decision. Now, this is really important to me, what I'm about to tell you, because I think a lot of times when we're at that crossroad and when we're not sure, do I go right? Do I go left? Oh gosh, what if I make this decision? It's the wrong one. Kind of calculating, how many people will benefit, how many people won't. You always want to remember you are in the role that you're in because you were chosen to be. This is really important. Make sure you get this. As you visualize your potential, one day you applied for the position, you were promoted to the position, you were offered the position, and you were because of your skill set, because of your experience. So when the days get long, when they get kind of tricky and scary and concerning, remember that you were chosen for your role because people believe in you. People believe in your potential, your vision, your ability to crack the code, to solve problems. Really important that as we, navigate our life and navigate our careers, that we remember, gosh, I'm here for a reason. I have talents, I have skills, I have, a lot to give, and others believe in you too. Now, they're watching you, right? They're depending on you. But you want to be able to compartmentalize that pressure, the pressure of the expectations, the pressure of letting people down. I want you to just package that away and throw it away. I want you to just step into that lane where you're being authentic, you're being transparent, you're helping out, you're being an advocate, you're being inspirational, and you're being that crack the code troubleshooter I know you to be. When you do that, that's when the magic happens. Now, we talked about team earlier, and I want to go back to that because so often when we're having a day where so much pressure is on us, the meetings are back to back to back, decisions have to be made, deadlines are in front of us, or unexpected, catastrophic issues arise. You have to remember that you are not alone. Well, you were chosen for your role. While people do believe in you, they are counting on you. In moments where you're the most stressed, you want to look at who are those in your orbit, in your department, in your office that you can depend on. Because sometimes it's a matter of how quickly a team can move. I know at Living Full Out, we have many different deadlines where we have to hit certain tasks, especially when we're doing the radio show. Not everything goes to plan. It's a live show. Sometimes we can't reach the guests before and the show is live and we're on and we hope that they're there. We hope they pick up. Sometimes, we have technical issues and we got to go with it. I remember a show one time where literally both of my headsets went out. I couldn't hear anything, but thankfully I had my sidekick Eilish with me, and she was giving me some cues, and we, like a plane, had a smooth landing, but it was kind of a hectic, scary moment. We're gonna have times like that. But when you rely on your team and everybody does their part, again, that's the secret sauce. But you have to communicate that in advance. For us, my producer, Rich, at one time mentioned to me, okay, if this happens, just go with it during a show. And I applied that so often to many shows because, again, technical issues happen, and in your life, I'm sure in your career, many things come up for you that were unplanned. So when your team is prepared and everybody kind of has that emergency plan, the what if scenario, now everybody's able to move and groove in a positive direction. Now, I want to make sure that, again, as we visualize your potential and what you're able to achieve, that you remember that every day you are doing your best. Again, you are a hero to many, but you don't have to be superhuman, right? You have to be honest, you have to be transparent, you have to, have that vision, be that leader I know you to be, but at the same time, not put all that weight on your shoulders. That's really important in order for you to thrive. Also, it's super important that as we consider those unexpected hurdles, those obstacles that come our way, that you will have the right answer. I think sometimes we get self-conscious, we get worried, we feel as though we're not going to make the right decision, and it's really important that the visionary being you, the troubleshooter being you, that you trust yourself. I have to do that every day in my life. When I walk out that door, the sidewalk is blurry. I can't see a car, I can't see the edges. Does that mean that I just stay inside and never leave my office, never leave my home? No. I have to step out there. I have to trust that I'm going to get to where I need to go. My white cane, my service dog, my trusty companions, they're going to get me from A to B. Well, you also have to trust your decision-making ability, your team, and know that with every step you take, you're doing the best you can. And again, when you're concerned, when you're worried, when you're feeling stressed, it's really important that you switch up the energy and that you find your way back to a place where you're more positive. Now, I want to also move on to what happens when we feel as though the world is kind of gobbling us up. What happens when, we're pulled in multiple directions? Well, it's kind of like being on an airplane, right? They always say, put your mask on before you help others. If you deplete yourself, if you exhaust yourself, if you stay up too late, if you over worry, then you're not able to think clearly. You're not able to help others and serve the way that you want to. So it's really important that you picture yourself like a plane. You can be a plane, you can be a car, whichever way you want to go, okay? But either way, you want to know that there's going to be turbulence, there's going to be rocky roads, but you want to have the smoothest journey you can. But to the best of your ability, try to control the elements. And if there's parts of it that you can't, then again, rely on your experience, the fact that you were able to get from A to B before. Now, I find that education is critical. Now, as I've shared with you, being legally blind, I can't read books, I can't even see a computer screen. Everything in my world is audio. Now, why is that hard? Well, I have to learn a lot of low vision aids. And we're talking about navigating Excel and learning ways to do that, how to navigate websites. Like, I don't use a mouse because there's no reason to. I can't see the computer to click on everything. With my keyboard, I move through websites by keystrokes. And there's a lot of learning that has to come from that. Even a GPS. Unfortunately, I don't drive anymore, right? So I don't have a GPS that could take me around. I actually have a walking GPS, but it tells me kind of like a map, what intersections are coming ahead of me. And I have to really visualize where I'm walking, which way I want to turn. The one benefit I will say about going legally blind, wow, it has really sharpened my brain skills. But we all have that ability to learn, to grow. And for you, it might be continuing education. It might be learning about cultural differences. It might be finding new technologies, new innovations that will make processes easier. But when you are living life full out, when you're out there and you're visualizing your potential, the education component is really important. Also, make sure that your team is equally up to speed. I get it, right? We're all creatures of habit. We kind of find our routine, we find things that we're good at, that, a way that we're organized. But the thing is, it's really important that your team is equally educated and that you all grow together. My team recently just launched into a new CRM, which I got a lot of low vision support on so that I could navigate that with my talking device, and my team is learning it. So we took that big jump together. So when you're implementing a new process, a new strategy, maybe a campaign, whatever that looks like, it's much more rewarding when everybody's doing it together, but they are educated. But the technology piece, I realize, sometimes can be a hurdle, right? I don't know about you, but I feel like whether it's an iPhone or the computers, it's every year, every 3 years, things are jumping, or learning new database systems, or security processes that you may have at the office. I want you to embrace technology. It's really important. We can stay with what we know, but think about what you don't know. Because the amount of what we actually know is usually a small sliver compared to the big abyss of what we don't know. And I encourage you, as you are visualizing your potential, really strive to go for the unknown. Become a bit more adventurous in your ability to come up with solutions and innovations and technologies that support your growth. And then when you're doing that, now that's when the magic happens. So it's when you embrace technology, when you're living on purpose, when you're getting educated, now you're able to really move quicker. Now, why do we get out of bed in the morning? That is a big question, right? Do you get out of bed because you have to, or do you get out of bed because you're so inspired with purpose of helping people that you leap out? Well, I'll tell you what, that along with the I will, I can, all those positive affirmations, when you get out of bed, you do want to think about intentionally what you want to achieve that day, and who are you there to serve? So when I go to bed at night, I oftentimes journal. I think about all the things that might keep me up at night. I jot them down. I think about all the things I want to achieve the next day, personally and professionally. I jot them down. And most of all, I have that schedule, right? I have that planner. But I also have what I'm grateful for. Now, when I wake up in the morning, I look at that journal. I look at the to-dos. I look at all the things that my mind released me of thinking about all night that I didn't want to forget. I look at my statements of gratitude. And then I have, of course, my schedule and my intention for the day. And that is what leaps me out of bed and gives me that vision for the potential that I want to have within that day. Now, everybody's process is going to be different. You might even add music to the experience, or maybe motivational videos, whatever gets you juiced up. But how you leap out of bed is going to be very critical. Now, let's talk about the people that you serve. I think about this all the time. Again, a lot of my clients are by phone, so I don't necessarily see them, nor could I. And obviously, when we're doing the radio show, a lot of the listeners are, through audio only. But I find that it's really important when I'm on the show, when I'm writing a book, when I'm publishing an article, when I'm coaching, I want to think of that person. I want to, picture their face. I want to see them happy. I want to, if they're not happy, I want to find a way to do so. So within the role that you're in, whether it's, healthcare, legal, maybe you're putting out fires right and left in different ways, you want to think about the recipients of all that you do. Potential and visualizing that potential comes a lot of times with the end in mind. So let's say everything goes well. Let's say you're living on intention. Let's say you're making a big impact. Look at the smiling faces of all those people that because of you, their life is better. They feel safe. They feel included. They feel as though they have opportunity. It's really important to see those images, those faces, because on the days that we have to make decisions and we're not sure what to do, and maybe we're feeling small or we're sitting in a place of worry, that's when you want to picture those faces, because it's that intensity, it's that intention, it's that reason why you get out of bed in the morning. It's making that impact, which is the potential that you want to have. Now, personally, all of you are heroes to me. I really want you to celebrate today all that you do. Have you done everything right in your life? No, I haven't either, right? No one does. But I want you to remember that for so many, those people, those faces that you make their lives better, to them, you're a hero. They might know your name, they might know your face, or you might be a secret hero behind the scenes, but you are a hero. And I really want you to sit today with some gratitude and some pride with all that you do, rather than always thinking about the stress and the worries and the to-dos, because there's plenty of time to focus on that, right? We've done that this entire time together. But let's just take a second when we talk about visualizing your potential. Let's just take a second and give you a moment of spotlight, a moment of cheer, being proud of yourself. Now, as you kind of ponder that and you say to yourself, yeah, I really do like who I am. And you know what? I really do wake up every day with the intention to help people. And you know what? I really feel like I do make a difference. Let's really anchor that and let that shine, and then pay it forward. What I mean by that is look at the other people in your life, your coworker, your spouse, your sibling, a neighbor. When you find that somebody is looking or seeming a little deflated, a little bit stressed, like a flower that's wilting, right? It's because they don't have this same time that you and I do to have together. It means that nobody has told them they're proud of them. It means that maybe they don't have the same inspiration, the same support that you do at the office. But you have the ability to pay it forward. You could send them a text of how much you appreciate them, how grateful you are for them, how much you admire them, or an email or a phone call, or knock on their door and just stick your head in and say, hey, have I told you lately how much I appreciate all you do for me? The power of those words allow another person to rise. And so when you consider visualizing your potential, and so much of it may be excelling in your career, you also want to make sure that you shine professionally. You want to be the best friend you can be, the best spouse you can be, the best friend and neighbor that you can be. But to do that, you have to be able to recognize what you're doing right, be proud of yourself, look for opportunities to grow and make a change, but also allow other people to have that same experience. And I have found that sometimes the greatest gift that we can give is the gift of listening, is the gift of allowing another person to vent. Because when we do that, we're able to flush out those toxic feelings. I talk about it a lot on the radio show, that when we're having a day where everything just seems to be spiraling and going out of control, it's kind of like a soda can, right? What happens when you take that soda can and you shake it aggressively, right? And then you pop that top. It explodes, right? So the thing is you don't want to walk around life being a soda can all shook up. But you also don't want people on your team to be either. You want to make sure that as the hero in your life and others, that you're being that good listener, that you're being the voice for those who may not have one. Now, I want to talk about leadership. I love that word. I love it, and I feel that we can all be a leader in our lives. But how do you be a leader when you feel stressed? how do you be a leader when you're worried you might not make the right decision? You know, the leaders that I admire in life, they don't say they get it right every time, but they share their process. They share transparently, if they don't know, then they turn to their team for answers. Now, it's not to say that that's easy. Sometimes, we want to look good, right? Sometimes we have to look good, right? For our office to be portrayed the right way, for people to feel, in the public, to feel confident and safe. But there's also a lot that can come from being transparent, in the sense that, giving people an honest map for what is working and what is not working. Making sure that you are um, inspiring your team and your community in what the potential is that could occur. Now, between a problem and a solution, there's a lot of middle, right? There's a lot of testing, there's a lot of troubleshooting, and a lot of times there's a lot of negotiating. But remember, you were the one chosen for your position. People believe in you, people trust you, you're a voice for them, you're their hero. And so you want to take being that leader, that positive force, and just go out there and make the best difference you can. So when we're visualizing our potential today, right, you want to lead with purpose, lead with intention. And those are qualities of what it means to be a really effective leader. Now, I believe that innovation, making changes, being fluid, that's essential to leading, right? Because if we keep hitting that brick wall all the time, ouch, 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 right? You have to be willing to find a different route over, under, around a problem. And you also have to be willing to shake it up. Maybe honestly, your way is not the best way. I think in this environment we're in sometimes, we get worried that, we have to have the solution, we have to get it right. But I believe there's a lot of power in the word team and working together. And how do you work together? You listen. You hear out people's ideas. You consider different processes. You get resourceful. You're innovative. You're welcoming technology. And then you're able to not just lead with purpose and lead with intention, but now you're even more effective, because sometimes we have to be really fast, quick on our feet, right? So when you're innovative, when you're out there doing, when you're learning, when you're growing, you're able to be that type of leader. Now, it's important that we remember, again, the people that we're out there to serve. But we have to remember that everybody has a different walk in life. Someone might look at me and they might not know that I can't see them. Literally, can't see them, right? And it's kind of interesting sometimes when I go to a networking function, somebody might put out their hand for me to shake, but I don't see their hand. And they might say to themselves, gosh, is she a germaphobe? Or, does she not want to shake my hand? Or, oh, she's rude. But I find that a lot of times I have to pop out there and explain to them that I can't see right away. Hi, so nice to meet you. Just so you know, I can't see very well, and I'm legally blind. So, if you see me, say hi, because you're going to see me before I see you, right? I'm taking that balloon and I'm taking that hot air out of it. I'm taking those reasons for them to judge me, and I'm eliminating them because I'm informing them that I can't see. The important thing about being a leader is to be open to understanding other people's values, beliefs, goals. And sometimes it's hard to take that in, right? Because we all grew up a different way. I have a disability. I'm legally blind. I realize not everybody is. But I've also never experienced, I guess in terms of confidence or lack of confidence, what others have if they're judged on their height, on their weight, on the color of their skin. Everybody's going to have a different walk. But when we can be inclusive, when we can welcome that diversity, when we can remember those faces of the people that we're trying to serve. Again, that is the secret sauce. That is the magic. It's all about visualizing your potential. And when I say visualizing your potential, it is your personal growth. It is also your career path. But only you can set that intention. Only you can decide how far you jump, how far you race. And it's fun because life is a journey and it's a game, right? So don't let the restrictions or the expectations or the to-dos of your life bear you down. I want to see you rise. I want you to really grab hold of that potential. So you want to have a vision and you want to picture yourself smiling, successful, hanging out with those that you love in your life. You want to make sure that you take that vision and hold it near and dear to you. When you take that vision and you're smiling and you're excited, now you want to match that with your plan. What are you going to do? Who do you want to be? I always say, who do I want to be when I grow up, right? I mean, I'm in my 40s. So you want to think about who do you want to be when you grow up? Or who do you want to be in your life? The most important thing is it's not about being somebody else. Remember what I told you? It wasn't about being Oprah. I had to figure out who Nancy was. So now you want to figure out, who do you want to be in your life? How do you want to be remembered? Who do people go to you for in terms of being a good listener? Maybe you're really good at tech. Maybe you're a troubleshooter. Or maybe you're that person at the office that always relieves people's stress. Maybe you're a quick thinker. This is the time when you take all of those attributes and those traits and you just kind of line them up. So you got your vision, you got all the ways in which you are special, unique, and different, and now you put them into action. So now you have these people that you serve, right? So how do you serve them best? You want to hear the best part? Just be yourself. You were the person promoted or chosen for this job. You are the one that has this vision for all the great things you can do for the people you serve. You are the one that has these special, unique, and gifted talents, and then you're the one who's going to execute. Power, magic, that's what you want to shoot for. Now, it's really, really important that as we launch out there in our day, right, we leap out of bed with the I cans and the I will and an intention in our heart, that we carry that through. So don't forget that as the day unfolds and things happen and they stress you out or they're unknown and they're throwing you off your path, this is where it becomes a game, right? You're starting at go in your day and you're doing for work. You're being the best friend, supporter, spouse, neighbor you can. And sometimes you're going to go all around the board and life is going to be great. And you're going to collect $200, right? Because you went all the way around. But sometimes you're going to get a card and it's not going to be good. Sometimes you're going to land on a space on the board and it's not going to be good. But remember that you have been there before. This is one of the biggest lessons I think we all have to remember. We are survivors. We are troubleshooters. It is our nature as humans to thrive, to crack the code. And so when you find yourself at a crossroad where you're not sure which way to go, you're doubting your decisions, I want you to remember, I've been here before. I've survived this. And then move past it. If you can move past that issue, that challenge, now you're able to thrive. Now, here's the thing. We've talked today a lot about this vision and intention and what that looks like. We've talked a lot about stress and how to navigate that and how to switch up the energy and how to rely on your team. We've talked today about not having to be a superhuman, right? About being authentic, being transparent, not feeling as though the weight of the world is on your shoulders because you have a team, you have others that you can bounce ideas off of. We talked today about leaping out of bed with intention, right? What is that purpose in our heart that we want to fulfill? And we've also talked today about making sure that you put your mask on first, right? Just like when you're on a plane before, so you can help others, but not deplete yourself. Now, all of that is great, right? Being that leader, being that visionary, being that influencer, being that amazing teammate. But remember to have fun. This is where I kind of want to end today, because visualizing our potential is exciting. It can be overwhelming. It can be something that spans one's entire lifetime, creating that vision. But you have to have fun. You have to know that the people that you serve, again, you make their life better. You make their ability to laugh around the kitchen table happen. You make them feel safe. You keep things in order. You're crossing T's, you're dotting I's. But the end result is you're allowing other people to live full out. So when you work every day and do your best, and you have fun, and you live passionately, and you give, and you listen, and you be that voice, and you work with intention, and then when you know that the recipients of all that their life is better, that you're solving their problems, now I want you to put the career aside for a second, and I want you to focus on you. Because if we don't make sure that you are healthy, that you are happy, that you're laughing, that you're having fun, life should not be dun 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 dun, right? If every day you're waking up with a burden in your heart, if every day you're feeling judged, then you might have to make some very necessary changes. Again, that might be the people in your life. You should have cheerleaders in your life, people that are proud of you, people that will lift you up, not let you fall, people that are excited to hear your voice on the phone or give you that embrace, a hug. Those are the people that you want in your life. So if there's anybody outside of that box, take today to clear them out, clear that clutter. Also, I want to make sure that you implement some really good plans, maybe positive music. I have many, many different playlists. I actually have a success playlist. I have a playlist that I listen to before every radio show. I have a frustrated playlist. Yep, that's right. On the days that I'm like, I play that, and the music pulls me out of that funk. So put together, that series of songs or music that uplift you, that make you feel on point, that again, bring a smile to your face. So we have good people, we have good music. Make sure you have healthy habits. Make sure you're eating the right foods. I mean, people in my life think I'm crazy, but I love spinach and onions together. I could eat it multiple times a day. Popeye would be so proud of me, right? The thing is, you want to eat healthy, because when you do, you can be more focused. You don't feel weighted down. You don't have that fullness that makes you tired. Make sure you switch up the energy. Make sure you're getting those showers in when the days are long, or feel refreshed to kick off a long day if it's coming. Make sure you have a lot of things right there at your desk to remind you of living your life full out, to capture that vision. Maybe you need more pictures at your desk of your family, of your friends, maybe an award that you're proud of, maybe a picture of a place that you'd like to travel. Also, make sure that in your office that the lighting is inspiring. Maybe it's natural light. Maybe you have accent walls. Maybe you have a fragrance that lifts your spirits and makes you feel successful. The joy in life is the most important thing that you have to make sure you leave this presentation from, because visualizing one's potential is not all about doing. It's not all about the career. At the end of your life, you want to look back and say, I made a difference. I really appreciated who I became, who I evolved to be, and that takes a lifetime to crack that code. And so as you journey through and you visualize that potential, you want to make sure you have fun. And lastly, pay it forward. Again, I can't say this enough times. We have this special time together, you and I, where we've talked about all these different topics, but I want to make sure that you spread that knowledge to other people. And I really believe that we all have a story. And just like I've shared stories today about being visually impaired or things that I've done at Living Full Out, or, people enjoy stories. You are a storyteller. And so sometimes when you're out there and you're motivating your team, or you're talking to someone in the community or another coworker, to have that story on hand, something that inspires you, a time that you've survived, that maybe even sharing this vision for your life that you have, you want to just kind of give it away and love big, give big. And as we round out today, and obviously in the spirit of living full out, I want you to leap away from today knowing that you're amazing. I say that because you are. Everybody who is out there protecting us, that making sure that things are running smoothly, we depend on you. We appreciate you. So from me to everyone in your community, I really want you to hear that. I want you to leap away from this presentation today knowing that we are grateful for you, and that we're excited that you're going to have this vision and that you're going to maximize that potential. I personally can't wait to see what you create. It's really been an honor today to be with you and share this material. As I've said a long time ago, I started Living Full Out because I wanted to help people connect the dots. It's important to me that you feel appreciated, that you are focused, and that, again, you're having fun. Most of all, take today to turn a new page. Remember that you are the author of your book. It's the book of your life. It involves career. It involves personal life. It involves hobbies. It's going to have highs. It's going to have lows. But you are the author. Everybody else in your life are just supporting characters, including me. But when you take that book and you're writing it, if a day is long, if it hasn't gone well, you know what? Turn a page, start a new one. Okay, start writing. If you find that relationships come and go, or career opportunities come and go, that's an opportunity to start a new chapter. So have fun, write the story of your life, love big, visualize that potential. Know that whatever it is that you want personally, professionally, you can have it. You just have to be intentional. You have to be authentic. You have to do your best to de-stress. But you really can have what you want in life. And know that I will be there right beside you every step of the way. Here's to you living full out and visualizing your potential.